Hey folks, I just want to remind you to check out my eBay store at SeemsGoodMagic.com for some playsets and singles. I also want to remind you to check out live stream times, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. And also follow us on Twitter at SeemsGoodMagic. Thanks, and enjoy the video. Hey guys, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here for another pre-release Theros draft. We've got a good pack here. We've got Fabled Hero, 3-mana 2/2 double striker with Heroic. Pretty good card. We've also got Crowan Hoplite, which is good for some sort of aggro strategy. Grey Merchant of Asphodel, which haven't played against online, but someone played it in real life against me a couple times. Pretty strong. Definitely strong in multiples. I mean, we're fine with the Fabled Hero here. He's a pretty awesome card. But, yeah, Grey Merchant's a cool strategy. Spellheart Chimera seems like a pretty difficult card to play in Limited. Rescue from the Underworld. I have a better understanding of how this card works now, so it's not bad. It's a little more difficult to use than you'd like. Crowan Hoplite is good, like I said. Return Phalanx. Pretty good cards in here all around, I think. But yeah, let's take the hero. Gotta love that double strike. Follow-up pick. Well, Destructive Revelry is probably just a straight up, almost like a removal spell in this format, with all the special enchantment guys. But why don't we take a look at, maybe we can try an aggro strategy. I mean, it does work. Minotaur Skullcleaver is actually pretty good. What else is good in here? I guess Priest of Irois would be good in red-white as well, but I'd rather take the Skullcleaver. Just get that hasty attack out of nowhere. And maybe we start wheeling these Lagona Band Elders. Not that they're fantastic, but probably playable. What else we got in here that's worth something? Opaline Unicorn's very good. And Mnemonic Wall's good. Wave Crash Triton I like. Let's take the Skullcleaver. Let's go deep on a red-white. See if we can make some sort of aggressive nonsense work. Okay, so Evangel of Heliod. Interesting card. Seems a little bit pricey for what you get. Another Unicorn. Spearpoint Oriad is fine. Bestow is good, of course. I like this Ill-Tempered Cyclops a lot, actually. Played against it in that last draft, and I've played with it a couple times, too. You get a lot for what you pay for. Turns into a good win con later. So I think we're probably taking this guy and over the Bestow. I like Ray of Dissolution too. That's a strong ability. Maybe we wheel one of those. But let's get the Ill-Tempered Cyclops. I like him. Okay. Now we have Titan Strength, which is probably really good at the Fabled Hero. What else is good? Boon of Erebus, good black trick. Tormented Hero, good aggressive black card. Maybe some sort of black-red could work as well. Tormented Hero is cool. I mean, he's uncommon as well. There's like no good white picks in here. But, I mean, I'd like to play the Fabled Hero, but if I was going to take Tormented Hero, though, maybe I should just go deep with Grey Merchant. Go for more of that idea, that deck, which is good as well. How good is Titan Strength? I mean, it scries, turns on Heroic. Maybe we try the Titan Strength. It's a trick at worst, and we could still potentially make red-white work, so we'll see if red-white Heroic. I mean, if you do red-white Heroic, then you're going to want some Titan Strength. Okay. Good choice here. So we've got Rageblood Shaman, which is going to work well with the Minotaur Skullcleaver. But, ooh, another Grey Merchant. Jeez. But we have all the good white picks in here. So we've got Wingsteed Rider, who's quite good. And we also have Favored Hoplite, which is quite good. Favored Hoplite, much better if we have a bunch of Titan Strengths and other targeted tricks. Rageblood Shaman, though, is actually a really good Lord, especially if I can find some more Minotaurs. Maybe we just want the Lord. I like these white cards a lot, but this Rage Blood Shaman, I mean, it's a straight up rare Lord, so why not? We could pick up some more Minotaurs, really get something going there. What do we got here? Anything good? The Minder is definitely good. It's just not quite on color with the plan we're currently doing. Baleful Eidolon's fine. Cavern Lampad's actually quite good. Maybe we want to go, now that we've got the Minotaur Lord, we probably maybe want to dip into black as a possibility. Because black will give us more Minotaurs. And just, you know, good removal, stuff like that. So we're not really passing anything else that's outrageously good in here. And Cavern Lampad can definitely put some big pressure on opponents at a certain point in the game. Alright. We can take the Fellhide Minotaur here, and I think we will. At least we have a Lord for it now. And then we can actually maybe find those Kragmaw Warcallers, which are the other Minotaur Lord. We don't have to go too deep on Minotaurs, but it's just a direction that could be fun. Alright, let's take Fellhide Minotaur. Alright, well that's a really late sip of Hemlock, so I'll pretty happily take that. Straight up removal spell. Also Cavern Lampad in here, which is good. And Order of Heliod is fine. The Ordeal of Heliod, excuse me. The Ordeal spells are all pretty playable. Hopeful Eidolon also good. It's like the Mark of the Vampire for this set. Let's take the sip though. I kind of like this whole black-red thing. Or I think I do. Alright, let's take the Rescue from the Underworld. Try it out again. Crone Hoplite though. Definitely good if red-white's a thing, but how likely am I to even play Rescue from the Underworld? Crone Hoplite is actually decent. Let's take the Rescue. I think I'm gonna commit to it, or try to. The black-red. Only because we have the Rage Blood Shaman. Fabled Hero is very good. I mean, I can still leave it open, because nothing else in here is really catching my eye anyway. So maybe just get that in case. But I think at this point we're probably committed to it. This gives flying to stuff. I think this card's actually pretty playable. As much as people don't want to admit it. Alright, I actually like Boon of Erebus. I think this card is actually highly playable. It's pretty versatile. It's a combat trick. It's a pump spell. 8 mana, no ramp. I don't think Boulder Fall, although last draft my opponent made a couple of them work, so that was ridiculous. Let's take the Viper's Kiss. Alright, demolish it is. Okay, so we're probably black-red at this point. I did sort of commit to it. I know I saw a couple of good white picks that could have gotten us into red-white, but because we have the red Minotaur leader and there's a chance we see the uncommon one, I felt like this could be potentially pretty fun. So let's see what we're looking at. Geez, is this worth anything? Do people care about Prognostic Sphinx right now? No. Seems like a pretty highly playable card in this format. Nothing really good for us here. I think we might have to take the Satyr Rambler, unexcitingly. Cutthroat Maneuver. I haven't played it, and it seems, I guess, pretty good. Potentially. But we might need more creatures, and Satyr Rambler's good if we get some enchantments and such. So let's take the Rambler. Definitely an unexciting first pick. Would have liked something better than that. Wow, Hammer of Perforos, really? That's got to be worth something. That's like played. And I could play it. I could totally play this card. Let's just start spitting out golems. So we're going to take the hammer for sure. What else we got in here? Scourge Mark's playable. Another Satyr Rambler. Bronze Sable and a pinch if we needed more cheap guys. A lot of white cards in here. Jeez. Let's take the hammer. Alright. Could take another Minotaur. Two-headed Cerberus. Good with tricks. Lightning Strike I think is what we're going to pick. We want that awesome removal. But yeah, hopefully wheel Minotaur or two-headed Cerberus. Either of those would be nice. I'd settle for a Blood Toll Harpy or a Spear Point Oread. But yes, Lightning Strike is in fact a good spell. Alright, next we've got Borderland Minotaur. We have Stoneshock Giant. Stoneshock Giant's pretty sweet. So is Borderland Minotaur. One less mana, very efficient. Read the Bones, though, also very good. I might just want Read the Bones. I mean, that lets you dig deep and find stuff. You don't get a lot of... I mean, where else do you get card draw in black-red, really, you know? You really don't. I do like the Stoneshock Giant and the Borderland Minotaur a lot, but I think I'm going to go with Read the Bones. There's a lot of potential strength with this card. Okay, Lash of the Whip. Some more removal. Otherwise, Stoneshock Giant or another two-headed Cerberus. Let's go for the removal. Hopefully we can clean up and get a... Even if we get some janky creatures, I just want to make sure we have a good removal suit. And we're starting to get there a little bit. So Lash of the Whip, I think, is where we're going to be at. Another one? Really? Wait, what's this crazy guy do? Oh yeah, when you cast him, target creature can't block. Jeez. Good spells in here, but... all of these guys, all of these three are playable, but we're going to take Lash. Double up on that guy. That's just good removal. I think that's hard to argue. Return Centaur, not super exciting. March of the Return could potentially be good, but we're short on creatures still. I just don't like Return Centaur very much. I'm not very impressed. Let's take the March. Hope we can pick up some more creatures here. Because we're probably good on removal at this point, so... Alright, let's take a second Fellhide Minotaur. Double March of the Return pack. Nice. Another Crowan Hoplite as well. Alright, well, we wield the Flesh-Mad Steed, and... might take it. Just with the removal suit we have, we could probably make cheap guys work. This guy's pretty bad. I mean, I'm not trying to say he's better than he is. Cutthroat Maneuver is another trick that's pretty playable, but like I said, we're at 7 creatures. We're nearing the end of pack 2, so I just want to make sure we have enough creatures, even if they're kind of janky. I'm happy enough with our spells where we might be able to make it work. This is a good wheel. We'll take the Rambler. These creatures aren't very good, no doubt. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen a little bit more Bestow or Tricks or something. We probably have. I just had to have taken good removal over them or something like that. Our removal suit is excellent. I'm happy with that. Little unhappy with our creatures. So we're just in the process of upgrading them, making them a little bit better. It does look like we're probably competing with some people for creatures in our color. We're going to take the Flamecast wheel. I think this card's actually playable, believe it or not. Alright, did wheel the Borderland Minotaur. Pretty happy about that. This guy's pretty efficient. Don't really care about either of these. I guess we'll take the creature. Sure. Okay, so last pack. I would like to find some good creatures. Let's see if we can make that happen. Thoughtseize? Well, I'm going to take money instead. Foil Mistcutter Hydra too? Jeez. Otherwise, first pick would be... I guess we don't have enough Scry to make him work, but he's fine. Two-headed Cerberus, probably... Yeah. That'd probably be the first pick otherwise, but yes, we are going to take some money. It just happens to be on color too, so what more can you ask for? Alright, well, Wild Celebrants is actually fine. there's enough playable artifacts in this set where you can just main deck them. And at worst, what, he's a 5 mana 5/3. It's fine. Don't have any problems there. What does this sick guy do? Oh, just the emissary. Okay. A lot of good green in here. But we'll take the Celebrants. That's fine. So we got to start making cuts already. We probably not main deck that. We probably don't have to main deck Thoughtseize. I mean, Thoughtseize is good. I don't know if I necessarily want to main deck it. Alright, we can take the Deathbellow Raider. Rage of Perforos, though. How many creatures we got now? 11? Let's just go deep on removal then. If I'm up to 11 and I've got a little bit of card draw, plus Hammer of Perforos is kind of a creature, pseudo creature. I feel like this is actually pretty good. We'll just go deep on our 5-drop removal. We probably don't need to play Rescue from the Underworld either, necessarily. I'll cut that for the Rage. Then we'll just be removal.deck. Portent of Betrayal, sweet. You can steal their guy. What's this thing do? Lets you... This card's actually pretty strong. Lets you gank cards from him. That's a good way to gain card advantage. But there's so many fatties in this set. I want to take Portent of Betrayal. So we're going to take that and probably cut the Flamecast Wheel, maybe, main deck, since we've got better removal. We'll probably wheel the Steed anyway. Alright, Keepsake Gorgon is sickeningly good. Love that card. Taking it. More removal. So we are looking a little bit clunky, but that's alright. Let's cut the Flamecast Wheel. Maybe we don't need the Titan Strength. What are all the... I guess they are pretty good with Satyr Ramblers, though. Just all the Wild Celebrants, huh? What does this thing do again? No. Not that good. Blood Toll Harpy is an actual flyer, which we don't have. Plus we need creatures, so I could see that. Probably don't need another 5-drop. And don't... I mean, Prowler's Helm, I'm not unhappy with that. I think Fleet Feather Sandals is offering enough evasion where we can just play that instead and grab some creatures. Start to clean up what we're playing a little bit. Start to establish a little bit better what we're playing. There's that Kragma Warcaller. I think we'll actually take him. He's a 4/3 haste on attack. Plus we've got a few Minotaurs at this point. So let's double lord it up. That's interesting enough to intrigue me. I actually like that. This guy has proven himself to be better than he looks. But maybe we just want to double up on the boon. I feel like this thing actually does some nasty stuff. But then I guess we'll have... at that point, we'd have 3 spells that make us lose 2 life. That might be a little bit suicidal. I do really like this card with Satyr Rambler, though. I feel like that is some solid synergy. Challenging. Let's take the boon. I've got some crazy plans. Yeah, like it's probably sick with the 2-headed Cerberus as well. Double strike, +2/+0, regen. This thing's better than any of these, I think. Although this thing is very annoying against us. Very annoying. So is this, though. Let's just hate this. Comes down faster. Do we need the Cutthroat Maneuver? Probably not. Savage Surge can be really good. And, alright, we'll take another 2-drop. Probably not playing it. I want that foil land. Alright. So, we have a deck. Looks fine. Just have to establish where we're at. Alright, let's build something here. cut the March. As much as I like it, I think it's probably not necessary in this deck. Do you always main deck Thoughtseize? I feel like we lose enough life from our cards. We probably don't need to main deck Thoughtseize. If they have like Planeswalkers and other crazy stuff, then I'll put it in. But I mean, it does keep them off their plan. But we already have 3 spells that make me lose 2 life. That's enough for me. So this is 24, and this is without the Fleet Feather Sandals. We probably don't need the Fleet Feather Sandals just because we have the removal to back up whatever creatures we have down. But this is 15 creatures. I probably shouldn't cut any, but I gotta say our 2-drops are pretty lackluster. Just some bears. And I didn't even put in the boons. Jeez. Alright. I still am standing by Boon of Erebus being playable. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. Okay. So Hammer is almost like a creature anyway. I really would prefer to not cut creatures, but if I were to, probably one of these Flesh Mad Steeds could go. Alright, let's cut one Flesh Mad Steed. Let's cut one of the boons. One more cut. I like all these spells. I wanted to keep the 2 pumps because I've got the double striker and I've got... Wait, I didn't even put this guy in? Jeez, am I going to make more cuts? Too many good cards I'm missing here. How many, let me count up how many total Minotaurs I got. So the 2 Fell Hides, the Skull Cleaver. So 4, 5, 6 with the Kragma Warcaller. It's actually a pretty low amount. I mean, it's moderate. It's just not as much as you'd like. I feel like that's going to be a common theme when you try and make a Minotaur deck work. It's like, well, I wish I had more. Alright, let's cut the second Flesh Mad Steed. Let's go for a little more mid-rangey Minotaur plan. With the removal, we should be able to make it work, ideally. Play enough creatures out, and then just clean up their important creatures. Find some opportunities to get in. Should be cool. I mean, we do have a ton of removal. A lot of 5-drops, though, admittedly. People have been saying 18 lands. I've seen a couple people say that now. I guess I could get behind that at a certain point. I don't know if I necessarily need to do it with this deck. We have the Read the Bones, so some opportunity to draw into some more. And we have a lot going on at 3 mana, so even if we're missing a couple land drops, we top out at 6. It's only 1 spell. Quite a few 5s, though. And I guess we do have Monstrosity at 6 and 7, but I think 17 lands is appropriate. Alright, so I need to make one more cut. I'm worried about cutting creatures now because we're already at 14 and I just don't want to lose any more. I like all of these spells a lot. Portent of Betrayal is actually really good. Like I said, there's a lot of fat creatures in this format, so ganking them and scrying is relevant. I don't want to cut any of these. These are just all of our top out removal. And then these 3 are good tricks. We may have to cut Titan Strength, as much as I loathe to say it. I think we just have to stick with our... I want to keep the boon around because it's an actual combat trick, whereas Titan Strength is too, admittedly, but I feel like boon is a little more useful. Even though you lose 2 life. I mean, this looks fine. What are they saying for land? 9-8? Really? We don't need double black until later, so I think I'd rather do 10-7. We need double red fairly early. Yeah, let's do 10-7. Okay. This deck's actually, yeah, it's okay. Kind of wish it turned out a little bit better. Like our removal suit is like 8 out of 10, but our actual, the rest of the deck, creatures and tricks and stuff, fairly low. So I'd probably only rate this deck at maybe like a 6, something like that. Maybe a 6.5, but it just didn't quite get there on the creatures that I wanted, creature playability. But who knows? We'll see how it does. Okay, I'll see you around 1.